Welcome to this guide on beginner piracy. We will attempt to roleplay as a pirate character from the very beginning. And I'll show you don't need to do a bunch of grinding to start playing this game as a thieving criminal. First thing we're gonna do is to sell off the flight assists. As a pirate, you won't have the spare internal slots to keep using these anyway. With the money you have, buy a fuel scoop and maybe some cargo racks. Next thing, we're gonna check some transport missions to see if we can steal their mission cargo. This costs you money in the long run because you will rack up big fines, but this will get us a budget to get started pirating ASAP. You don't have to do this per se, but I'm doing it here just to complete the roleplay as a criminal. Next up, we're gonna find ourselves a system that has a black market, and preferably find one outside of the beginner bubble because soon you won't be able to return there anyway. This will be your first base of operations where you can return to sell your stolen shit, and we will need to do that quite often. All you have to do to sell the mission cargo is to abandon your mission. It will then become illegal cargo which you can sell on the black markets. Now take your money and try to derate as many core internals as you can. You will need these to get from system to system and to have enough speed to keep up with your victims. So try to prioritize the distributor, which allows you to boost, or the thrusters or the frameshift drive. As you start jumping between systems, make sure to always honk your discovery scanner. That way you'll get some cartographic data, which isn't the very most piratey thing to do, I admit, but you will need that to unlock the very first engineer. While looking for a better station with a black market and good missions, we pick up some more of those hull cargo missions, since it's basically zero effort to sell it. Now we have some money and we're going to buy the basic piracy tools. First we're gonna get ourselves a hatch breaker and a interdictor, also a collector limpet. We want to do a little bit more outfitting before doing PvE piracy, so we're going to pick up these illegal black box missions. They're still illegal, so it kind of fits in, and it's good money and it won't get you any fines. So if you can find them, do those. For these type of missions, all you have to do is go to the system where the mission is at, then scan the nav beacon, which will give you a signal source where the stuff is located. You drop in there and pick up all of the stuff. It contains some other illegal cargo which you can sell again at the black market. Here I have found a mission for delivery of 9 units of gold, and I'm about to abandon it, and it's giving me a fine of 700,000 credits. We make about 200,000 from selling gold, so this might seem like a shit deal, but it allows us to outfit our ship and we will be making back that fine in no time. Let's outfit our ship so it can be a functioning pirate ship. We need A-rated thrusters and power distributor so we can follow our targets when they boost away. Then we also want a decent frameshift drive and enough power to run all the modules. Next we are going to be tricky and we are going to equip 2 hatch breakers so we can overwhelm point defense if the ships have it. Aside from all that, we have the basic stuff like cargo rack, shield generator and a manifest scanner so we can see the cargo. Now all you have to do is not forget your limpets. Don't forget to sell your cartographic data so you can visit Felicity Farseer down the line. Now always keep your eyes open for possible victims. You never know when you might find something good. Here I am just jumping from system to system when I see this elite courier service. We're going to interdict them and just see what they have. Interdicting someone just gives you a fine. If you shoot at someone, then you will get a bounty. Fines are easier to deal with, you can just pay them off. Bounties are a bit more tricky, but eventually you will just stop caring about fines and bounties altogether. Here we are, we're just scanning them and see what they have. And they have some pretty good stuff. So we want to fire some hatch breakers and just nab a couple of tons of shit and get out of there. So with our E-rated double hatch breakers, we can fire 2 of them at once, and you see one of them dies, but the second one still manages to latch on. So we just bypass this guy's point defense. And in the sidewinder we can't really hope to damage them enough to actually disable their ships. So we are pretty much counting just on those hatch breakers. Now you have to stay close apparently to the ship because these E-rated breakers, they don't really have that much range. This is where our thrusters come in. As long as we can boost and keep up with them and stay within the hatch breakers range, they won't break. And we will get some of that tasty cargo, and there's nothing they can do about it. Now, even though we have a collector controller, in these smaller ships you will not always have limpets to use. So you should get in the habit of manually scooping. Even in the bigger ships, when you decide to put a little bit less collectors on there, you can really increase the speed at which you're scooping by also manually scooping. For example, on my crate I have only 2 collectors, and if I scoop myself, I effectively give myself plus 50% scooping speed. And as you could see there, the stuff we picked up is around 200k. That's a pretty good haul. Now in our next example we actually went to the system we intended to go to, which is the frog system. You can see it in the bottom left corner. And you can find ships here that are carrying low temperature diamonds. Now as you can see, our little sidewinder is having a lot of trouble keeping up with this ship, even with 4 pips to engines and boosting. So we want to upgrade to a Cobra as soon as we can. And in fact, just 1 piracy in this system will allow you to do just that. Go to Inara to find a good system to sell this, because you will get a lot of credits out of it. Don't forget to look for a system that supports a black market. And this is why you will be grateful to have upgraded your FSD, because the selling station will probably be around 100 light years away. When you go buy the Cobra, take all of your modules out of the sidewinder except for the core modules. Then sell the sidewinder with the core modules and buy yourself the Cobra. You can now transfer all of the other modules into your Cobra. You won't have enough money yet to buy all the best core modules for the Cobra, so you will have to do another diamond run. For now, just make sure that you pick up a bigger cargo rack. We interdicted a wing of 2 here in the frog system, so we're gonna have to be a bit careful about our pip management. Give yourself enough speed to catch up with the target that you're hacking, but also don't forget to put 4 pips in shields when you're under heavy fire. You can see that even with bi-weave shields, we can stay in this fight for pretty long. Having E-rated thrusters really hurts, so just grab what you can. We get lucky here and the Type 7 comes back to attack us for some reason, so we hack him again. And after this haul we will have enough to A-rate the Cobra. Then you will have the perfect starting pirate ship. I still fly the Cobra these days, from time to time, just to have fun, even though I have way bigger and more optimized pirate ships, if you will. We get 5 million here, and we can upgrade our Cobra to a fully A-rated one. Not bad. Now, since this is the place people sell their diamonds, we actually got lucky and we found a player also heading in just to sell their diamonds. We intercept them in Super Cruise and we try to get some from them. You might notice that I'm still using the E-rated hatch breaker. At this point I'm just experimenting with them. The E-rated one gives you 2 hatch breakers each, which means that the first shot you will just shoot a single one, and then the second shot you will shoot double hatch breakers. So in theory it's more chance to get through the point defense that way. Once you get a ship that has some decent weapons and you can actually consistently threaten the destruction of your victim, then you can just go for a single A-rated hatch breaker. Then most of the time you will not really use the hatch breaker to get the cargo, it's just more of a backup. In PvP piracy, communication is everything. If your target just thinks that you are a ganker, they will try to run away or just blow themselves up even, and you will get nothing. So luckily I had my macro set up for this and I had it running in the background. So you can see this message in the top left corner. Sending both before and after the interdiction is always good. Asking him to stop. If he doesn't stop, you can do whatever you want with them, they have their chance. Now I just fired my hatch breakers and it looks like he tried to stop. It's still kinda hard to judge. Anyway, we let the hatch breakers do their work and we start working on their shields. We have some very basic lasers on here. It's not really well optimized at all, as you can see. It drains my capacitor too fast. But he is running an unoptimized ship as well, so it doesn't matter. you can still pirate other players if they have not got engineered ships, like you do. Now, we managed to get the shield down. We fire some missiles at these drives. It's a good way to kill the drives. And now you have a second chance to negotiate. If you manage to disable their ship, always try to get more cargo than just a single hatchbreaker drop. Now, this is getting a bit messy, and piracy is often messy. You don't really know the intentions of your target, so sometimes you shoot a bit too fast. You never know if your target is just not going to answer at all, or if they're logging, etc, etc. Now this guy says, okay, we already fired the hatchbreakers because we are assuming he was just ignoring us. So the limpets will get it. I say you don't have to drop anymore. Again, chaos in battle. He is dropping anyway before he can read the message, so we get hatchbreaker plus his drop. Oh, you might say that's not really fair, but in all fairness, he had a real chance to stop when we interdicted him and he chose to flee, so after that it always gets a bit more messy. You should, however, always try to be as fair as you can, because if you break a promise with a trader, they will just blacklist you or go to solo forever, and then you won't have any people to pirate in the future. Use your manifest scanner if you have the time when they stop. If they don't stop, don't bother. But use the scanner, that way you can see what they have and you can make an offer that's reasonable for both yourself and the other guy. And that will increase the chances of him actually complying and dropping. If they ignore you completely or just try to run, you're free to blow them up, because that's the only thing that will teach them a lesson. Maybe next time they won't risk all of their cargo plus the rebuy of a ship, and maybe they will stop. Just make sure that you have sent messages and that they know that you were just a pirate. Now, this doesn't have to be the end game of your Cobra. You can engineer it and get 10 times more ship out of it. Here you can see some footage of my own Cobra, fully engineered, taking on a cutter. The full video is on my channel. I have also put a link to the build in the description. Finally, I just have one announcement to make. Now, disregard everything I've said about PvP piracy so far. If you go out there and pirate and you're not the code will surely blow you up for being competition. So, if you still want to be a PvP pirate, join the code now. There are a bunch of entry requirements you will have to meet, but if you don't meet them, you can still hang around in our Discord. We have a channel set up for helping out newbie wannabe pirates like yourself until you are finally ready to become a full crew member of the code. The choice is yours to make. Join us or we will send you to the void. This was Commander Ultras Humongous, over and out.